Ufotable this morning just made an announcement that they are releasing so many projects for this year and next year, and my goodness, they are going to make billions. Now, before I talk about Genshin Impact, which this video is mainly about, I do want to talk about some of the projects that I am excited for. For example, Demon Slayer Infinity Castle Part 2. I never made a review on the first one, but I really loved the animation, the music, everything about it. Now, the story is mediocre at best. I didn't really particularly enjoy. I've read the manga. I know how this all ends. I know that the story isn't going to change, but I do know that the final arc of this will end spectacularly. So yeah, Demon Slayer 2 is coming out. I'm very, very excited. Now, another project that they announced is Witch of the Holy Night. It will be a theatrical release, so it's a movie. Like, I do appreciate Ufotable's, like, desire to make great animation, so I don't know a single thing about this, but I'm already going to watch it. It says it's going to release in Japanese theaters this year, and then probably, like, later, in, like, late 2026, it will come out for America, which I really don't like why they do that, because I feel like with pirating and everything, you lose the potential to make millions. And I really don't think this, like, they did this the same thing with Demon Slayer, the first movie. I really don't think that, you know, for the money that it has made, I feel like it could have made more had they all just released everything worldwide simultaneously at the same time. I don't get this tradition. I don't know if it is a tradition, but anyways, I'm sidetracking. So yeah, looking forward to that. And lastly, the focus of this video, Genshin Impact. They are confirmed that this anime is not forgotten. People thought it was like left in the trenches. Like Ufotable just made one announcement and thought, oh, biggest pump fake ever. But nope, they're actually going through with this. They've confirmed that this will come out around 2027, like if earliest maybe late 2026, but I doubt it. I mean, they did announce this like years prior, but I do think that they have a lot to work with, considering if you've played the game, there is so much content to cover, which is something that I do want to address. I want to talk about what I am excited for and what of my worries are for this anime and what I hope that the anime does. Before I go into those takes though, I do want to make it very clear I don't like Genshin Impact. I've stopped playing before Cry comes out, and I think people really hated my takes on the Genshin Impact game because based on the dislikes I've gotten, my highest dislike ratio for YouTube videos was me just crapping on Genshin Impact and why I don't think the game will improve and why I think it's just unbearable to play when there are other gacha games to play. But aside from what I personally think about the game, I'm really excited for the anime because I do think that Ufotable will make a great animation, and with me loving Genshin Impact for what it was before it all went to poo-poo, I do think they're going to do a great job with the story, and I'm very curious to how they're going to spin it. I haven't seen a lot of people talk about this yet, only than the people who were just saying that they were surprised it was coming out because they thought it was all forgotten, but nope, the project is still in the works. But I think anyone who thinks that the anime will be garbage just because they think the game is garbage is completely invalid. I don't think that's a right take. Like, I don't like the game anymore, but I'm loving what I'm anticipating for this anime, and I'm definitely gonna binge watch it if they release it in that model, or watch it weekly as traditional animes go. But I'm not too sure how it's gonna spin, but I'm excited, and I don't think it's right to say that the anime is garbage even before it even comes out. Like, yeah, the game isn't the best at its state right now, but I don't think saying the anime will be booty. But that's just kind of what I'm anticipating. I'm anticipating a lot of like hate comments. I think that would be just ridiculous. So starting with what I'm excited for. I'm excited for the animation, obviously. I really am anticipating for the music as well. I think Genshin Impact music has always been great, especially the last score that I really loved enjoying to hear was with Fontaine. With what they did with Fiorina's backstory, I thought the music was just amazing. So I'm very curious to what Ufotable will have. I know they're not. Well, I know that they don't have their own music production. I'm aware of. I think they'll have like another like great music production working alongside it. I hope it's the people from Demon Slayer because my goodness, it's amazing. I just had to do a fact check. Apparently, Ufotable does have their own music production or studio thing. They have worked on Fate Zero, Garden of Sinners, Heaven's Feel, and Demon Slayer, so I am very wrong. But I do hope, they have some, god tier music producers or composers that they've done with Infinity Castle. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Another thing that I am excited for is that I will not have to play the game to see the story unravel. Really, one of the things I just don't really like doing it anymore is when it's like you have to continuously like play the game to see the story like progress on, which obviously, like, duh, that's a given. Like, if you play any gacha game, that's how it works. But I've just kind of gotten tired of it. It's something that I've just kind of gotten fatigued by the grind, especially when there's too much content. Like, I've already taken a break from Wuthering Waves and Honkai. I will play that again later when in the summer when I have more time, but for now I don't, because I'm in school, so there's very limited content I can make. So I just kind of yap now. But I am excited that I will just have to see the story unravel and not have to do anything. I can just watch and purely enjoy it without having to feel tired while watching just bomb-ass cutscene. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, yes, like a moment of breather. Like, no, I can fully enjoy this show. Now, I think I've kind of said everything for what I'm excited for. I'm just really excited in general. Or not really excited, but I'm looking forward to it. So one of my worries about this is I don't know if it's going to be fully adapted from the video game. And if they do, it will feel weird because now if you've played the game, you know that if they follow it by default, each season is just going to be its own region. Like, first season will start with Mondstadt, and the second with Liyue, Inazuma, Sumeru, Fontaine, that land. Like, you know how it goes. Excuse me. But I think if they follow strictly based on that, I feel like that will also come with another problem, which the characters that you will meet throughout each season, you won't really care about anymore when the next season comes out. We don't get a lot of Mondstadt characters like Amber, Kaya, Jean, Lisa, or any of them until we go back to Mondstadt for those like side quests in the game. In the anime, you're only gonna see them for like the first season, and that's it. Like the only characters that you'll ever really give a crap about is just Paimon and Lumine or Ether, if depending on who they go with. I assume Ether if they follow based on the game, but I do hope it's Lumine because it wouldn't be too different or unique from the game. Like, I wouldn't be mad if they completely adapt from the game, but I do hope they kind of make it a bit different where Lumine is the main character. Ether's already the main character in the game. You might as well have the other sibling be the focus of the anime. And to go on further about what main characters there are that we care about is for Paimon, I'm worried that she'll be annoying. Like, it's just kind of like where in the game, she does this thing where she'll re-explain what is explained to us by the characters we meet across, to the point where it gets continuously, like, the whole quest duration is so long because of the additional commentary Paimon has to make after every sentence a character speaks, but it's just restating that statement. Someone has said this before, and I thought it made sense. I forgot who said it, but this person said, having Paimon talk in that game kind of rewires you to not pay attention. And I really do think that makes sense because I just kind of stopped paying attention after Fontaine came out. I think when just hearing from the characters themselves who we meet across, that's only interesting. Paimon speaking after every sentence they say to either re-clarify or restate what they're saying is just been getting very annoying. So I'm worried that Paimon's going to do that same thing. I really don't want them to make her be this, like, annoying, like, emergency food meme. I do hope, and this is where I'm going to talk about what I do hope for. I hope that Paimon has a bigger role. I think with a companion in the game, just always being with Traveler shows how much fidelity that she has. But I do hope in a way where if the anime wants to make some different twist in it, have her do something else other than just being with Traveler. I really want Paimon to be more than just an annoying voice, and it's like I'm not gonna be too upset if they kind of keep the same, like, high-pitched voice, whatever, but I don't want her to have much dialogue then. Another thing that I hope for is I want the Traveler to speak. My goodness, in the game, she or he, depending who you choose, does not speak until, like, those like climactic moments or moments where they would see the other sibling. So I'm gonna say she because I use Lumine. When I see Lumine speak, it's like a jump scare. Oh my goodness, the times when she spoke, it startled me because I don't hear her speak anymore ever since the very beginning. Like, I remember the first time we hear her speak is when in Liyue she was proposing this plan to pull out wanted or missing posters of Ether. And then another time after that, I think it was when she sees Ether again with Dying Sleeve. I don't remember, but I want her to be a main character and speak. So really, I don't think they're gonna strictly follow based off the game because that would be very lame. But if they do, I hope the dialogue can be different in which Lumine will speak or Ether, whoever they choose. Another thing I really do want for this anime. Now, I've already kind of, complained about why I don't think the high-pitched voice works for Paimon. I hope they do retain the voice actors. It would feel very weird hearing completely different voices. Like if you suddenly hear like a higher pitched voice on like D-Luke, or Lisa here sounding like a girl or whatever when she's straight up a woman, an aunt, to these characters. I think would feel very yucky if we hear different voices. But it wouldn't be like my biggest complaint. I just think it would feel very off considering we've grown up with these characters. I don't know why I'm speaking like that. It's like my childhood game. It's really not, but just we know how they sound like, and if we hear them any differently, it's like I don't know. I do hope they retain the voice actors. It's not much information from what I've given from the Genshin Impact. We don't really know much other than it's like it's coming out. It's confirmed. But I do hope that they retain those voice actors. Another thing I do hope for, and this might be a hot take, this is kind of for how I want things to be a bit differently. I really do hope whenever, because we're gonna start with Mondstadt, I'm assuming. If we see the Knights of Favonius, I do wish that some of them can stay with us for our next journey to Liyue. It would feel very weird to have just Paimon and the Traveler and Traveler and Paimon be the only main characters. Like, I really do hope some of them kind of stick with us along the way. For example, I think Amber should stay with us. It's very clear that everyone else in the Knights of Favonius have a prominent role. Amber, not really. Like, I know she's an outrider, but I don't really know what that exactly that means. It just sounds like she's an explorer, kind of gathering intel or whatever. But they could always have, like, Timmy with the birds doing that kind of work, have your little pigeons and, fly out, get some information. I hope Amber, like characters like Amber, stay with us. Or from Liyue, maybe, not Tartaglia, but maybe Beidou, maybe? I really do think Beidou's character could have a great role in how we transport from different nations. And I think she's already done that with Inazuma. And I think with Inazuma, we can get Kazuha join us too, and then so forth. Well, basically at least one character from each region we come across can stick with us, and then we can have like our own crew. I really do think would make things a bit more exciting than to just kind of just not care about them after the first season. Or I mean, we still will, but we don't get to see much of them until like very like tiny moments, like the game kind of does, where you'll randomly see Lisa and Sumeru, or you'll randomly see Kaya and Fontaine. I forgot how the whole game, my goodness, there was just so much. But I really do hope we can retain some of the characters that we come across in each region and join us if there's not much of a thing that they're doing in their current area. Like, I think that would be fun to see. I forgot to mention this. I feel like this is a big one. I am very curious how they're going to implement Dying Sleeve in this anime. We only see him at the end of every like arc we come across in the regions. Like, he's always in the last part before we move on. I don't know if they'll do that same thing again, but to make him a bit more interesting, maybe have him come more than just the end before we move across to different areas. Maybe he can be like those like moments in like those random moments in each episode where he'll kind of serve a purpose to why we have to care about him and why he's coming to meet the Traveler at the end of before we go to a different area. I hope they kind of do a better job with that. Like, he does play a very mysterious character, and I understand that he's not supposed to come like or appear as much, but for the sake of the anime and how much long it's going to take for us to kind of really progress through the anime, unlike the game, I think would be very important to have him appear more than just the ending, because there would be just a lot of confusion. But that's just a hot take I think I have. I don't know if people will agree with that. Maybe people do love it being very mysterious that Dying Sleeve is not someone we really know about. But there are areas where we kind of see him further flesh out before we even went to Fontaine. So I don't think it's that crazy of a take. I do think we need to see more of him, considering he is kind of where everything connects, or at least that's what that one trailer teased about, where the Genshin teased all the regions. They make him a very prominent role, or a prominent character throughout all of this overarching like story, in which he's very, very involved with what is going to happen at the end of all of this. But I'm not sure. I hope they do well with him. I think his character is interesting, and I'm still waiting for him to be playable. Even though I don't play the game anymore, I will try and roll for him, because I always thought his character was pretty interesting. And I think that might be the introduction of a new element. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's all I have to say. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.